Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be making our traditional Korean kind of like lunar New Year dish that you eat. So the Koreans celebrate Lunar New Year like most of Asia. That's what we consider like a new year, and that's when you get a year older. So to celebrate longer life, we would make the Koreans would make rice cakes too, and then eat that. One of the reasons why the rice cake is eaten is that when it's extruded from the machine at the factory, you know, where they make the rice cakes, it comes out long. So that's what signifies long life. And then they take the long rice cake and then cut it into oval shape like this. So when you buy it at the store, buy it in a package like this. Sometimes they'll label it as rice omelets. But there's two different types of rice cakes. So the second one's not really rice cake, but Koreans call it rice cake. So the first type is made with rice, of course, and it's called rice cake. Second one is made with wheat. So the one made with rice is called 쌀떡. 쌀 means rice. And then the one made with the wheat is called 밀떡. 밀떡 means made with wheat rice cake. So there's two different types. Some people like the 밀떡, the wheat one, but most people like the rice cake made with rice for the soup. I have in this pot here some kelp and some shiitake mushrooms, and I'm gonna keep this boiling to make our vegan stock. When there's different types of rice cake soup. Some are made with beef broth, some are made with chicken broth, and then most common is made with anchovy broth. And my mom used to make it with anchovy broth, but then when we moved to the United States, she started making it with chicken broth because it came right in the can and it was convenient. She didn't have to make broth from scratch. So from that, you know, that's how we make, that's the base of our vegan rice cake soup. So usually you have some kind of, you'll have like ground beef going to the, on top as a topping. So we have some textured vegetable protein. This is about a quarter cup. And I'm gonna add half a teaspoon of that methyl cellulose. We're gonna add 1 teaspoon of sugar. So this will kind of mimic like a teriyaki seasoning, you know. I have half a teaspoon of ground ginger, half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm gonna mix that in well. Then I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. And then about 3 tablespoons of water. So we're gonna let this sit in here and let the textured vegetable protein reconstitute. So we're gonna make our egg for the garnish. Some people put eggs right into the batter, I mean the broth as it's boiling, so that it kind of creates like a egg drop in there. But since we're using vegan egg, this will kind of like just blend into the soup and just make the soup thicker instead of having chunks of eggs in there. And some people actually, what do you call it? Make fried egg into into sheets and then chop it up and put it as a garnish on top. So that's what we're gonna do. So I have a pan here of oil, vegetable oil. Just it's nice and hot. I'm gonna turn it down on low heat. And I'm gonna put our egg. Okay. This egg sticks, even if it's non-stick here, so you just gotta do your best at making like a sheet. And if it doesn't work, improvise. I may have to just scramble it and put it into the soup, like we're making broth soup. So I didn't end up with a sheet. I ended up with scrambled egg, and that's fine. So we're gonna scramble this, and we're gonna put it into put some green onions on top, and we're gonna put some shredded seaweed. And we're gonna put some shredded seaweed. So you take the seaweed and roll it up. I fold it in half and half again. And what I'm gonna do is take the scissors and I'm gonna just cut it thinly. I have 2 sheets here because I like a lot of seaweed on top, the dried lather. You can use a knife if you want, just make sure the knife is really sharp, but the scissor works really well like this. You can also buy these thinly sliced like this, but it's so expensive. Oh, this smells so good. So I have about 8 ounces of the rice cake soaking in water. If you soak it in water, it cooks faster when you boil it in soup or like a broth. If you had it just dry, it might take a little bit longer to boil. So I have a pot here. I'm going to take some of our vegetable broth. I'm going to add about 4 cups. 3 cups. This is for 1 portion because I'm just making it for myself. And leftover rice cake soup, not that it gets really the rice cake expands as it sits in the liquid. So I'm just gonna make enough for myself. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of mushroom powder. Then we're gonna season this with soy sauce. We're gonna put about 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. And this is basically our soup broth. So give it a stir. And I'm gonna taste it if I need to add some salt or not. Yeah, it needs a little bit of salt. I'm gonna heat up a saute pan with some vegetable oil. Okay, when it's start to get warm. You see the vegetable protein, the soy protein, absorb most of that liquid. So we're gonna put this, when the oil heats up, we're gonna put this in here. We're just gonna kind of like saute this on medium heat, medium to medium low heat, until we get a little bit of caramelizing of the sugar and the soy sauce, and it's gonna add a lot of flavor to this mock beef. If you wanted to taste a little beefier, you can add a little iron to this, because there's iron in our blood, so that's what gives it that beef flavor. But I'm going to keep it simple this time for those vegans who are a little squeamish about making things actually taste like meat. So most of our liquid evaporated, and now we're getting a little bit of color on the textured vegetable protein from the caramelizing of the sugar and the soy sauce. It smells good. So once we have our beef, we're gonna put it off to the side. Come to a boil, and I can see actually that the rice cakes have softened up. I'm gonna separate the ones that are kind of stuck so it's easier to eat. At this point, I'm gonna taste it for seasoning one more time. Perfect. So once it comes to a boil, and you boil it for about 2 to 3 minutes, it's done. I'm going to ladle this into my bowl. Okay, now that we have our soup ready here, I'm gonna place my vegan beef, my egg. I'm gonna kind of break it apart. It would have been nicer if it was actually slices, but you know, you do with what you can. I love a lot of green onions, so I'm gonna put all of this. You can put as little or as much as I put here. And then bunch on top like this. And here you have our tteokgook. In this case, it's called mandu tteokgook because we have mandu in here also. Doesn't this look delicious? I mean, come on. All you need is a little bit of kimchi, and that's all you need. I'm gonna eat this right now. Look at this, so delicious. Ooh, I'm so excited. And then when we were younger, we used to have family gatherings all together in South Korea. We would hang out with my cousins, and while the adults were cooking things like this in the kitchen. And then when it came time to eat this, some kids didn't want to eat it, but the adults would say, you can't get a year older without eating the rice cake soup. And we were like, okay, now we have to eat it. But it was good when we did eat it. It was delicious. So we're gonna take some of the rice cake. I'm gonna kind of mix it in. My mouth is watering. It's hot, so be careful. Just like how I remembered it when I was younger. And my mom would occasionally make us this rice cake soup for meals. Not necessarily just for New Year's, but this is traditionally eaten at New Year's for traditional New Year's Day meal. Or at parties. Now I'm gonna eat it with some kimchi. That hit the spot. This is the vegan kimchi I made. I had a lot of extra the radish, the daikon. So I cut it into big chunks and I put it into the kimchi. Delicious. Like if I didn't know this was vegan and I gave it to someone, or if somebody didn't know this was vegan, I don't think they could ever tell because this doesn't have any meat in it. No animal had to die, you know? Especially with the egg, this just egg looks like real egg. And it tastes like real egg. We're gonna eat the mandu. Ah. This hits the spot. Gonna add a little more of the seaweed, kim. rice cake is so chewy and soft. And then that teriyaki beef flavor from the soy texture soy protein. Oh. And then you get the taste of the egg and the green onion. The fresh green onion livens up the plate. The palate. I'm just inhaling this. Cake. And a big piece of kimchi. To an extent, I'm ambidextrous. Only when I'm eating. I'm cooking. I can't believe I hit it all. That's how good it was. Look at this. Ooh, I'm so full. Well, I hope you learned something new here today. We made traditional New Year's Day food in South Korea. This is more or less back in the day when we didn't have a lot to eat, when Korea was still on the cusp of still being a third world country. This is the kind of stuff we ate during New Year's. Now people are eating steak and all kinds of rich Western food in South Korea. But this is traditional food you eat during Lunar Day. I hope you enjoy learning something new and also making it vegan. It's really delicious and nutritious. So make it for yourself at home. It can be enjoyed all year round, especially during the colder seasons like winter and fall and early spring. So the next video, I think I'll do seaweed, which is the soft, pudding-like tofu that's kind of really savory and kind of spicy. I'm gonna make it with kimchi, and I'm gonna try to make kimchi seaweed. If you like this video, press the like button, share it with all your friends, subscribe to my channel so that you get the notification to receive the new video when I publish it. Again, thank you for coming to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!